Hello, my name is Brian Grazer, and I am the president and founder of Vibraphone Project Inc., otherwise known as the Vibraphone Project. When I first started putting together the pieces that would become the Vibraphone Project, it was with the single goal of finding ways to celebrate the Vibraphone's 100th anniversary in 2021. However, thanks in large part to the many talented, accomplished, and passionate people who have since joined the project, its mission has grown even bigger. Our purpose is to celebrate the past, support the present, and ignite the future of the vibraphone through innovation, education, and community. One of the most important things that the Vibraphone Project can do to promote this instrument that we all love is to provide educational and pedagogical resources to anyone who is studying or teaching the vibraphone. The project is incredibly fortunate to count among its members some of the leading voices in vibraphone education, whose combined years of teaching experience easily surpasses the vibraphone's single century of existence. It is now my privilege to introduce to you the members of the Vibraphone Project's Pedagogy and Education Committee, who are dedicated to informing, educating, and delivering resources which will help vibraphonists around the world.
Hello, I'm Jerry Tachwa, Chairman of the Pedagogy Committee for the Vibraphone Project. Our goal on this committee is to assist mallet percussionists into some of the proper skills and techniques required to play the vibraphone. And hopefully our goal is also then to encourage composers and other percussionists to be able to use the vibraphone for more so than just a novelty type instrument. I started out as a drummer in Pittsburgh when I was 7 years old. I had a really great teacher. His name was Eugene Babe Fabrizi. Babe was very adamant that all of his students were going to be not just drummers, but full percussionists. Once I got into the mallet aspects of percussion, there was no turning back. I was hooked. I wanted to be able to play melodies and play harmonies, and I was able to use the techniques I acquired rhythmically and technically from being a drummer. At that point in Pittsburgh, I became known as the mallet guy. I got all the calls for anything that required a mallet player. I played vibraphone, marimba, xylophone, chimes and bells, all of the orchestras in the area, all of the escapades, any of the shows that came in, I seemed to get the call. Around 1972, I actually got a call from Mr. Bill Ludwig at the Ludwig Musser Company, and they were developing a prototype marimba that used synthetic bars called Keylon. Mr. Ludwig asked me if I would be available to do a performance in a clinic on this new instrument. Of course I did. At that point I got signed into the Ludwig family and I became one of their endorsers. While touring the world with Mr. Ludwig, I one day ran into another mallet player, and he was a jazz vibraphonist by the name of Gary Burton. I talked to Gary during dinner and I expressed my interest in learning more about jazz and improvisation. Gary then invited me to be his student at Berkeley, which I did. Best decision I ever made in my life. At that point, I was able to really get into all the aspects and technicalities of playing the vibraphone, of being able to improvise and use contemporary harmony and make the vibraphone an instrument that really is able to sing. Now, the reason I sort of gravitated more so, even though I am a mallet player, but more so to the vibraphone, is that the expression that the vibraphone gives me, the fact that I'm able to sustain chords while creating melodies and then using dampening technique and pedaling to create very articulate sounds is something that really appealed to me. So anyway, I hope this committee can give you some of the information that you need, and we can take this vibraphone for the next 100 years and make it a really popular instrument. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Matthew Geiger. I teach down in East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, Tennessee. And I want to tell you a little bit about how I got involved in the vibraphone in the beginning and why I think it's just one of the best instruments that we have in the percussion family. When I was in high school, early on, I used to think the vibraphone was so cool. When I was in jazz band playing drums, I'd look back and think, man, I wish I could play that, but it just seems scary to me. And when I got into my undergrad, I learned really quickly that the vibraphone wasn't just a jazz instrument. It could be used in a variety of scenarios and different musical genres. And so I was really excited to learn more about that instrument. It wasn't until my master's that I got involved in a vibraphone competition and learned even more about the intricacies of some of the current contemporary repertoire for this instrument. And that's really when I really started to fall in love with this instrument even more. I learned that there's so much power in manipulating the sustain and manipulating the touch and everything that you can control on that instrument, from the low end to the high end, to bring out soaring melodies, to play down some of the accompaniment, and also play out some of the harmonies underneath. And so there's so much you can do with this instrument, and that's really one of the reasons why I love it. And one of the reasons why I joined the Pedagogy part of this vibraphone project, to help teach others how to learn this instrument and how to approach it so that you don't have to be afraid of it.
Sustaining and expanding the field of vibraphone performance begins with education, and the entire Vibraphone project is committed to providing educational resources now and in the future. Please be sure to visit our website, www.thevibraphoneproject.org, for the release of new educational content, plus news and announcements regarding our commissioning effort, performance events, and so much more. If you don't want to miss anything, please also be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much for watching, and please keep the good vibes coming.